Uganda has a long history of promoting the rights of its citizens. However, the 2025 Uganda Human Rights Commission report on the state of human rights and freedoms released last month indicates a rise in cases of illegal detention in the country. According to the report, 52% of cases filed before the tribunal relate to violations of the right of personal liberty, with 133 complainants seeking redress over detention beyond the constitutionally mandated 48-hour limit by security forces. The report further highlights that the Uganda Police Force received the highest number of complaints, followed by private individuals, the Army, and the Uganda Prison Service. Acts of violence often emerge from institutions of governance and can affect ordinary citizens in many ways, including infringing on their right to access basic services.
The common man who is not part of your war should not suffer. The public good facilities like the hospitals, the worship areas must be protected in this time. So that's what we are doing. And our call at this juncture is for the government is to ensure that there is a master plan that the government rolls out for promotion of IHL in universities, in tertiary institutions of learning, but also to demystify the IHL concept, because it is not a legal concept, it is a humanitarian concept.
Today, dignitaries from the International Committee of the Red Cross called on the government to adhere to the international humanitarian law, which protects people who are not participating in hostilities and restricts the methods and means of warfare.
This is a platform that brings up the young people to come and talk about the real issues, especially what happens when there is a conflict. Because as we know that the international humanitarian law is the law of armed conflict. And then when you talk about the law of armed conflict, we are talking about the principles that needs to be followed when there is a war, when there is a fight. So one better way of us building students or building a group of people who will help us later on to promote the principles of international humanitarian law is through engaging with the young people, the students.
In addition, Simona Ferrara, the Regional Protection Coordinator at the ICRC, revealed some of the challenges they face in ensuring that different countries adhere to the international humanitarian law, noting that non-compliance continues to affect citizens.
It's hard, it's sad, you feel powerless because you would like not to see all these consequences on civilians. It's very hard. We contribute to this knowledge, to this awareness, but unfortunately, as the reality, if you see the news today or in general, unfortunately the world is not really complying with the international humanitarian law.
The competition attracted participants from 4 universities: Gulu University, Kampala International University, Makerere University, and Uganda Christian University. Some of the students explained the importance of this law to Uganda citizens.
Now, what I have learned basically is that even when people have been deprived of their liberty, these people should not be treated in a way that is inhumane. For example, you should not expose a person to public curiosity. You should not put a person in a situation where they do not get the basic needs.
On the basis of what's happening in Uganda, we can see a number of conflicts, even within the northern regions of the country, but even conflicts between the people and the state in particular. So we need to be able to make sure that civilians are not harmed, civilians are separated from military groups.
This year's competition focused on how international humanitarian law should be applied during times of war and hardship without causing harm to civilians. Maria Jacinta Kanyange, NTV.